This meeting is being recorded.
Next slide, please. Great. Before we move forward with the presentation, I would like to have Reina Rodriguez with Linguistica and the outreach team provide you with instructions to access the Spanish channel for those Spanish speakers who would like to hear tonight's event translated into Spanish. Reina?
The team can go ahead and make the announcement.
Today we will host a meeting with Spanish simultaneous interpretation. If you are a monolingual English speaker, no changes to your setup are needed. Sorry about that. Reina.
Hola, muy buenas noches a todos. Bienvenidos a esta reunión. A través de esta reunión el día de hoy vamos a estar proveyendo interpretación simultánea al español. Para acceder a la interpretación en un momento, usted va a poder acceder a un icono que parece un mundo abajo de su pantalla. Después de que seleccione el icono que parece un mundo, usted va a entrar a la modalidad de interpretación, va a seleccionar español. Le invitamos a silenciar el audio original para que de esta manera solamente escuche la reunión en el lenguaje de su preferencia y estará lista para participar. Le invitamos a someter cualquier pregunta o comentario en su lenguaje de preferencia. Aquí estaremos para asistirle. Gracias. Thank you, Georgina.
Thanks, Reina. Next slide, please. I'd also like to review some housekeeping issues. First, all attendees will be muted during the session, and your video will also not be available during the event. If you do have a question during the presentation, please post your question or comment in the Q&A box. We will monitor the comments and questions and present non-repetitive questions and comments as they are added to the Q&A box and when the presenter is available to answer those questions or address those comments. Next slide, please. There are several agencies and firms involved in preparing this important study, including Caltrans District 6, 10, and 3, and members of the Jacobs consultant team, including Jacobs Transportation, VRPA Technologies, AIM, and Linguistica. At this point, I'd like to briefly review the agenda for the remainder of this hour-long session or event. We have a full agenda for tonight's session. Members of the study team will provide you with an introduction related to the planning process, and there will be polling questions throughout the event so that you can provide us with your opinions related to State Route 99. We will provide you with some background information related to previous planning along the State Route 99 corridor and with some information related to current conditions. It will also be important for us to learn about your ideas or methods that could be used to address challenges along the corridor. And finally, we will identify the next steps in the planning process so that you can continue to be engaged as this plan moves forward. Next slide, please. Katie DeMaio with AIM and the outreach team will now initiate the first polling question. We would like to get a sense of where you live in relation to the State Route 99 corridor. If you're with us in person, we would ask you to sign in and provide your zip code. But instead, we're doing this virtually. So if you could please provide your city and zip code where you currently reside in the chat box at this point, that would be wonderful. So please provide your city and zip code in the chat box. Great, thank you for your input. Next slide, please. Katie, we are now ready for the next polling question related to why we use State Route 99 most often. I will now read the question. Why do you use State Route 99 most often? A, to commute to work. B, to go to the store. C, to reach services such as medical. D, to get to school. E, to visit friends and family. F, for leisure purposes. And G, for other. If your answer is G, please provide your answer in the chat box. Have all the attendees
Just about. I think a couple
Okay.
people answered in the chat as well, but I'll share the results here.
Okay, great. So far it looks as if 2/3 of you use State Route 99 to visit family and friends. And approximately 1/3 of you use State Route 99 for leisure purposes. Dina, what were the answers in the chat box related to item F or item G, please?
We have no other
Okay,
responses.
great. Great. Okay, next slide, please. Great. I will now turn the presentation over to Alec Kimmel. He is the branch chief for system planning with Caltrans' District 6. Alec?
Thank you for the introduction, Georgina. On behalf of Caltrans District 6, I would like to welcome everyone to the initial round of virtual public workshops for the State Route 99 Comprehensive Multimodal Corridor Plan, or CMCP. My name is Alec Kimmel, and I am the Caltrans Corridor Planning Representative for Caltrans District 6. The focus for this workshop is for State Route 99 in Tulare, Kern, and Kings counties. We are committed to addressing the needs of the communities on the corridor, and we encourage you to share your ideas for what improvements on and along State Route 99 would benefit your communities. We look forward to hearing your thoughts and ideas for the State Route 99 CMCP. Back to you, Georgina.
Thank you so much, Alec. Next slide. Our next presenter is Doug Johnson, Principal Transportation Planner with Jacobs Transportation. He will be presenting information on the background planning process, existing conditions, and solutions to improve State Route 99. But first, we have a video that we would like to provide to you related to the State Route 99 corridor and the planning process.
Caltrans is developing a comprehensive multimodal corridor plan, CMCP, for State Route 99, SR 99, from Bakersfield to Sacramento. SR 99 is crucial for goods movement and interregional connectivity. Although sections of SR 99 have been improved over the years, more work is needed to address growing safety, access, and traffic demands. The CMCP will guide future corridor decisions considering transportation trends, emerging technologies, community needs, and state and local policies. The planning area includes Caltrans Districts 3, 6, and 10, and 8 counties in coordination with their metropolitan planning organizations and transportation planning agencies, as well as local agencies and community partners. Caltrans has been planning for a cohesive SR 99 corridor since the early 2000s through Caltrans District's transportation concept reports, California system management plans, and the SR 99 business plan. These efforts highlight multimodal opportunities for enhancing the SR 99 corridor. When complete, the SR 99 CMCP will carry forward the vision of these plans and reports. The Road Repair and Accountability Act of 2017, Senate Bill 1, established the Solutions for Congested Corridors program with an annual budget of approximately $250 million. This program funds projects that deliver specific, measurable performance improvements and align with comprehensive corridor plans. These projects can span state highways, local streets, public transit, rail facilities, cycling and pedestrian infrastructure, or necessary mitigation efforts. The CMCP will showcase agency coordination and robust analysis, enhancing the region's competitiveness for federal and state funding. Over the course of the next year, we will be looking not only to our partners and local agencies for input as we develop the CMCP, but also to you, the users of the corridor. We will be hosting a series of virtual events at key times during the planning process, both to inform you and to request your feedback. Virtual meetings will be held in each of the counties. Please join us to help identify priorities, concerns, and solutions that improve the SR 99 corridor and adjacent communities.
Great. Next slide, please. So again, I'd like to introduce Doug Johnson. principal transportation planner with Jacobs Transportation, and he will present information on the background planning process, existing conditions, and solutions to improve State Route 99. Doug?
Thanks, Georgina. And I just want to share my thanks for all of you making the time to be here with us tonight. A few kind of highlights on this study. This is the study. This corridor has been studied a number of times and has had a series of kind of building plans and projects that have been delivered in coordination with the state, Caltrans, and the counties and the cities to deliver investments along the corridor. Recent activities include updating of the business plan for State Route 99, and in the Sacramento County area district, Caltrans District 3 is preparing a new managed lanes plan for the district as well. This is, I believe, the first time the state has awarded a grant to 3 distinct Caltrans districts to prepare a CMCP all together. Next. You may have noticed the study actually spans all the way from US 50 in Sacramento to I-5 south of Bakersfield. According to Google Maps, that is 298 miles, not quite 300 miles, but we understand that the corridor, as it traverses the valley, goes through a variety of different communities and has a great variety of uses. The focus of this study will not just be, though, on cars on the highway, but will also include multimodal recommendations along the corridor. What is a multimodal investment anyways? These are anything that might include goods movement, bus service, rail service, bicycle and pedestrian investments, and more. The CMCP will strive to balance local needs with state and county goals as well, seeking to blend all of these to support the residents and businesses along the corridor. The CMCP also does recognize that this is a critically important freight corridor and named as a priority as such in the state planning documents. Simplified, the planning process involves 4 key steps. The first is to really get to know and understand, using primarily data and input from yourselves, what the corridor characteristics are, how do folks travel, where is travel heaviest. Next, we look to analyze gaps and start to look for challenges. Where are some of the constraints we might be seeing or data that's pointing us to a red flag of some kind or another. Next, we build a set of solutions with you starting tonight and again this winter to really see what we can do to tackle those challenges, and finally to develop an implementation plan so that when this effort comes to conclusion a year from now, that there are clear next steps for you all. Next. The study is guided by a diverse range of goals that seek to help us balance all the different needs of a transportation system. First and foremost, though, is the importance of creating and promoting a safe system. Caltrans has a goal to eliminate fatalities and serious injuries on California's roadways by 2050, which is called the Vision Zero by 2050. And to help achieve this, Caltrans has adopted a safe systems approach to define how to respond to and address safety challenges implement interventions, and evaluate progress along the way, consistent with U.S. Department of Transportation strategies as well. But you can see the improvements range beyond safety to include finding ways to support the economy, improve air quality impacts associated with transportation, and provide for well cared for and well maintained infrastructure as well. Next slide. I think we have next up our next polling question. I'll hand it back over to Georgina.
Katie, we are now ready for our next polling question related to goals. And I'll run through that for you, Doug. Please select which 2 goals are most important to you. 1, promote safe travel, maintain streets and highways. 2, support the Valley's economy, support affordable development. 3, support equitable transportation investments. 4, prepare for climate change and advance clean technology. 5, improve air quality and improve public health. 6, reduce traffic congestion. Katie, have all the attendees?
I'd love to see maybe one more. We have 4 of 7 that have taken it. I think someone actually put their answers in the chat box. So we do have 5 of 7, so we can end the poll and I'll share it here.
Perfect. So we have 25% support the Valley's economy, support affordable development. We have 25% improving air quality and improve public health. We do have, it shows 100% related to promote safe travel, maintain streets and highways.
That
So
means every person who voted that selected that. So that definitely has risen to the top.
Yes, that's the #1 answer. And we had 25% for the other 2 that I mentioned. In the chat box, the answer was?
Also 1 in 5, also safety jumped right in there.
Safety, great. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Georgina.
Sure.
Since you all are here tonight for the meeting, you already know about State Route 99 and how it performs for you and those in your family and network and in your broader community. We'll go ahead and just cover some of the key highlights from the corridor. I think first and foremost for the length of the corridor is to really look at the scale of population growth that the Valley has experienced. I know this isn't news to those of you who are here, but you can see growth patterns consistently above 1% per year, north to south. And while that does cool a bit in the future, we also, I think, still know that the recent trends create a lot of work for us to tend to. Next. On the jobs front, it's a similar story with substantial job growth, again, up and down the corridor and consistent. What's different, though, in digging in is looking here at future job growth is actually forecasted to continue quite strongly up and down the corridor as well. And that job growth will continue to put demands on the Valley's transportation network and the State Route 99 transportation corridor in particular. Next slide. The valley has a robust system of state highways and freeways. You can see anchored by State Route 99, but intersected by countless state highways that connect to more further out parts of the valley and up into the foothills and beyond. Many of those connections provide critical connections to the high desert, to I-5, to far North Valley, and into the greater San Francisco Bay Area, among many other destinations. Next slide. In addition to that, there's then also our multimodal network, starting to look at the number of rail opportunities serving both freight and passenger travel in along the State Route 99 corridor. And finally, with the next slide, all the transit operators as well. This does not include all the private bus operators such as Flixbus and Greyhound, but includes the public agency services that are provided along the corridor. And in addition to all these systems, there's also countless local bike and pedestrian networks that cross and parallel State Route 99, serving those community transportation needs on a daily basis. Looking ahead to the next slide, when we look at the length of the corridor, we see that traffic total daily transportation is spread with quite variety, with lows of around 55,000 vehicles per day, all the way up to and above 200,000 per day in Sacramento County. Next slide. And when we dig in, looking more closely at San Joaquin, at the southern end of the valley, we see volumes up as high as 160,000 in Bakersfield and in Fresno. Some of the highest volumes on the entire corridor. And also reflecting the fact that those become important hubs, not just for business, but also where some of the larger state routes do connect in and out of the State Route 99 corridor. Next. The valley, as you all well understand, is a huge part of the nation's agricultural and food systems, producing over 25% of all the food consumed in the United States. And high truck volumes are a consistent pattern throughout the corridor, with over 25 million tons of goods moved between Bakersfield and Sacramento alone. Some of the busiest segments are around Bakersfield and Tulare, Visalia to Fresno, and also Modesto to Manteca. As noted before, State Route 99 is one of the highest priority goods movement corridors in the state and has been flagged accordingly. It also is the only through line available for freight rail operations presently in California, with the coast route no longer being used with any regularity for freight. And so it provides a critical connection between the high desert systems, as well as the Central Valley and points north into Oregon. Next slide. Digging in a little bit closer, more closely again, you can see where the truck volumes are the heaviest, and you can see ranges of truck volumes down below 10,000 in yellow, but you can see the hubbing effect around Manteca, Fresno, and Bakersfield, and the high volumes that those communities experience. And with that, that concludes our background and context on the corridor. Georgina, I think you are ready to handle the next.
Great. Katie, we're now ready for our next polling question related to goals. Excuse me, this is related to challenges. What are the top 2 challenges traveling on or across State Route 99 in your community? 1, development of new homes, jobs, and infrastructure impacting trips. 2, high traffic volumes and congestion. 3, high volumes of truck traffic and goods movement. 4, unsafe roadways and intersections or intersections. And 5, do I have alternatives to driving by car? So we're looking at top 2 here. We probably have a couple more to provide their answers. Katie?
Yep, looking for maybe one more.
Okay.
Here we go. I think that it's about what we've been seeing. So let me end the
Okay.
poll and share it. So we have 5 responses.
So we have 20% at development of new homes, jobs, and infrastructure. We have approximately 60% with high traffic volumes and congestion. 100%, so the top answer for everyone, high volumes of truck traffic and goods movement. And then 20%, do I have alternatives to driving by car? Okay, great. Thank you so much. Doug?
Thanks, everybody. Yeah, it's much appreciated to see what is important to you. We're looking forward to hearing what ideas you might have. Next. So as noted, there are numerous transportation plans in that are being used throughout the Valley's communities and transportation agencies in coordination to build up a robust transportation system and to try and tackle the key issues just discussed. Here I just grabbed a few from the county of Sacramento, from their transportation agency, as well from Kern County, Turlock's short-range transit plan, high-speed rails business plan. But it just gives you a sense of the breadth of agencies that are working every day to try and build a better and more a more robust transportation system. But for as much as those planning studies have collected ideas and concepts, we're also really eager to hear from you, given concerns that you have in your community and on your section, perhaps of State Route 99 or somewhere else. What ideas do you have to address these key challenges that you face? So with that, I think we'll be heading into our very last polling question.
So Katie, we're ready for our next question related to potential solutions. What do you believe are the best solutions to address the challenges you face traveling along or across State Route 99? Examples include safety improvements along State Route 99 in Outwater, pedestrian and bicycle overpasses in Modesto, and traffic relief in Bakersfield. Please provide your answers in the chat box. And of course, they can be different than these. Great, we can move on to the next slide. So what happens next? There you go. There are 8 total meetings in this round of community events and forums. If you have friends or family or colleagues who would be interested in attending one of these this month, please share this information with them. We will email the invites for these meetings to you following tonight's meeting. Next slide, please. This slide provides you with an overview of the process and schedule. The next steps in this process include defining the corridor characteristics, analyzing the goals, analyzing the gaps and opportunities, identifying solutions to those challenges, and then developing an implementation plan. Following the series of community events and forums, we will thoroughly review your feedback from tonight's meeting, as well as the other events and forums that will be held this month. Following the conclusion of all 8 sessions, the team will create an outreach report. And finally, we will conduct another round of community events and forums in the winter of 2024-25. Next slide, please. Is this it? Is that the last slide? Great. Well, thank you again for taking the time out of your busy day and evening to attend this. Your input is very much appreciated. If you have any other questions or comments after tonight's session, please call our hotline number at 559-272-4561 or email us at sr99cmcp@dot.ca.gov. Please follow directions when using the hotline, and we will return your call or send you a response to your email within 72 hours or 3 working days. Regarding the information and the videos that were presented tonight and the outreach report that I mentioned, we will follow up with an email to let you know when and where to find the materials online. And with that, everyone have a great evening, and thank you again so much for your time. Thank you.
Georgina? She's still there? Katie, are you still there? We may just want to stay on for a little while longer in case we have some
Yeah,
late joiners.
absolutely. I can run this room till 7:30, Alec, not a problem. For anyone else, the program is over, but we're here to answer any questions, and we're going to just stay on just in case anybody else needs anything. But of course, we'll be here just in case anybody else signs on.
I'm assuming it's just all of us here, right?
Yes, and Michael Navarro.
Yeah, and Michael.
The meeting
Shivari.
is still being recorded. And so
Okay.
I can end, we still have it open. I'm happy to end the recording when you guys would like to. But I just wanted to let you know it's still being recorded.
Okay.
Sharvari is with Jacobs. She's an intern. Oh, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
How about, Katie, how about let's stop the recording